Right-wing women have surveyed the world. They find it a dangerous place. They see that work subjects them to more danger from more men. It increases the risk of sexual exploitation. They see that creativity and originality in their kind are ridiculed. They see women thrown out of the circle of male civilization for having ideas, plans, visions, ambitions. They see that traditional marriage means selling to one man, not hundreds. That's the
I don't even think this is like how people actually feel, okay? I'm pretty sure people have bigger worries than that. Like, what the fuck? You really think people are worried about like their threatening gendered systemic position in the world right now? What like hello? What?
better deal. They see that the streets are cold and that the women on them are tired, sick, and bruised. They see that the money they can earn will not make them independent of men and that they will have to play the sex game of their kind at home and work too. They see no way to make their bodies authentically their own and to survive in the world around men. They know too that the left has nothing better to offer. Leftist men also want
You say you're liberal, but you said you moved to the right and you voted for Trump, so most people wouldn't say that you're liberal. I would say that you're a conservative, okay?
wives and whores. Leftist men value whores too much and wives too little. Right-wing women are not wrong. They fear that the left, in stressing impersonal sex and promiscuity as values, will make them more vulnerable to male sexual aggression, and that they will be despised for not liking it. They are not wrong. Right-wing women see that within the system in which they live, they cannot make their bodies their own, but they can agree to privatized male ownership. Keep it
What
one-on-one,
year
as
was
it
this
were.
written?
Can I interject here? Can I interject here?
Well,
So I will say.
Holly needs to
Wait,
go.
it was written in the 80s?
Okay.
I want to say something. I want to say something.
What are you, Carl Benjamin? What the fuck?
So I understand the perspective of this quote, right? But when you actually look at like how
I was rooting for you. Okay, why do you think I'm like being so rude to her?
all these things bear out, I think that it actually ends up being that a lot of women are in more danger in their own home than they are when they are, going to work, right? Like, what is the rate of domestic violence, right? What, like, I'm sorry, how many women are killed by their partners, right? So, and that poses a, they say that like, you can look at all these things, and obviously safety is a huge issue for women in general, right? That's why we can't be lax on punishing crime, but at the same time, this idea that being stay at home or staying in your home is going to be safer is not necessarily true, because a lot of women engage, a lot of women encounter their first instance of domestic violence when they get pregnant, right? A lot of women just end up dying from it. So it's not
But
true,
that's necessarily
right?
the lesson.
Yeah.
I think that the lesson
Hold on, just
that
laugh, stop. We gotta let Tali
Yeah.
go, right? We do. She was asked a
Right.
question, and everyone keeps like, we will never get to the question unless we give Mike to Tali. Tali, you were.
Wick, when are you gonna, you need to give Tally some space to actually start butting in, okay, into conversations rather than trying to make the space artificially as a moderator, okay, so-called moderator. All right, this is why you are the sexist one, okay, because I believe in equal rights mean equal fights, okay. I know I'm a right-winger, okay. Equal rights mean equal fights. That means they should learn how to butt into conversations, just like men, okay? Just like manly men, transgender women, okay?
Asked about trans rights. We did a whole show on this, by the way. There's a whole show
Yeah, we did.
that you can go and look, but I guess people want the TLDR right now, so go ahead.
I think trans people should have rights. I
No, I
abhor
disagree with that.
the bullying and cruelty that a lot of people target against trans people, especially on the basis of their appearance. Yeah, I don't know.
I want to.
Wait, but you voted for Trump? He's like the worst for that. Oh.
Pivot off of
Anyone have a
Tally
more
saying that,
specific
just to be
question?
clear, because I've been really hard on you, Tally. I think you're ultimately probably a good person, and I don't hate you. It is this specific
Wow.
topic of which I am triggered, just so you know. And I wish the
So
best for you and your
kind.
wife. I hope that Obergefell does.
Weak. This is... Stop. Stop being nice.
not get overturned. And I will have Gavin Newsom illegally marry you at the San Francisco courthouse if it
Didn't it get overturned? Didn't it get overturned
is.
or something?
Very kind. Thank you.
Okay, well, gang, I don't know where we're going from here. Lav, finish up your thought, and then we might just kind of.
I was just saying
end
I
this
don't
shit.
necessarily think that that was the lesson in that is that like to stay home, but I do believe that there is a passion of men of the right wing where they feel more protected, and I feel like in a post sexually open society, post birth control pill, post you know, free sex, free love of the 2000s, women are getting tired and they're getting weathered, and they see men who are ready to take care of them with very pretty words. It doesn't even necessarily need to be true, and I think that women ultimately prefer that because we are just animals after all.
I think
but yeah, that was just
cynicism is
speaking to women.
sure.
But I think overall,
Sure.
there's more democratic issues that are turning people to MAGA. And I also would like to clarify: I don't think that MAGA. I think that MAGA has become bigger than just Donald Trump at this point. It's a movement on its own.
I think the best
There's
policy for women is to be cynical when it comes to any man talking. I'm sorry to say, but you have to be cynical
Even
when it
George
comes
Floyd?
to any man talking, whether they're right wing or left wing.
Even George Floyd.
Because
Even George Floyd?
I'm sorry?
Even George Floyd?
Even George Floyd, because you know, men generally are the same, like across the political spectrum. I'm sorry, they commit more crime. Every man, every
Okay,
man
no
is
Stardust,
like
we're gonna have an
horny as
issue.
fuck.
Keep going,
At
keep going.
every stage of life, men are their libido is higher than women, even when at the point where women are at their highest in libido, men still have a much higher libido at every stage in their life than women. And men are not, I guess, not taught to have any self-control. So, you know, I mean, yeah,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
just
So one of my
ahead.
frustrations, general cultural observation and frustration, is that
She's kind of spitting there. Fuck men.
it does seem like in some ways the left only acknowledges, and I'm not saying you, Stardust, in particular. I don't know your views on these things, but you seem pretty based from what I can gather. But the left seems to only acknowledge these sex differences in these cases, in a case where they can make a case for sexism against women. So if they're trying to prove that women are earning less, right, in the market, or if they're trying to show how women are literally vulnerable in comparison to men in a physical way, they then pretend that men and women are completely equal in their desires and their abilities and in their preferences and all of these things. And that's a frustration that a lot of people, again, there's a lot of people who just who resent the hypocrisy, and it doesn't make them
One of the concerns
enthusiastic
I have,
Republicans
sure.
necessarily.
One of the concerns
Just
I'm having,
can I real quick clarify
Can
just the
I-
top
can I-
five?
More shall enter the fray.
give my
Things, because I
thought?
did look this up and we're going to move on from this week, but the economy, democracy in the US, terrorism and national security, Supreme Court picks, and then fifth is immigration, which is like the only one you might be able to spin into maybe it's crime, and then kind of turn that into do I feel safe as a woman. So no, it was none of the things that Lab brought up, just to
Okay.
be 100% clear.
Fair enough, but
No, I
Not
heard
to-
that women are actually
I
terrified
also think
of
that you're
walking
being
around
like
cities.
Following on Twitch or Kick?
extremely autistic about this. I think that there are plenty of ways that people vote for things and don't necessarily like track it. What's on the ticket? Are they writing in the reason why they've switched parties? Are they writing in the reason why
Right.
they're voting?
You would have to even
Like-
know what
I'm
what
sorry,
they're
are we now
asking.
just
You don't
question-
even.
like,
You don't even.
all polling isn't valid because we haven't asked every single person about
It's
their
not
opinions.
polling.
Statistics,
No,
we can just
you're
throw it out the
you
the
are
fucking
acting like
window.
you know. That's the problem. You are acting like you know more than I do, and you don't. You are
So
guessing
I'm
just as
going
I am.
on
80s.
polling data, and you're going on, well, we can't
I'm
know because we
asking
didn't
you
ask
about the
everyone on their
data.
fucking what do
Listen,
you
I'm
want to do? Do you
asking
want me
you
to send you
about
more
the
links?
data.
What are you
No, I
talking
want
about?
to know. I want to know how they're asking these questions. This is
We
Actually,
not.
gotta
Circle,
dive
send it to
deep
me.
into
They
the fucking-
Circle,
rate,
DM
we
it to
gotta
me.
dive
rate
deep
things
into the
based
fucking
on
methodology, my
extremely
guy.
important, very important, somewhat important, not important. This is how most polls are done. You can rank topics. You can pick which are your
Sure.
top 5. This
So
is a thing.
what topics are on the questionnaire?
Oh my god.
Can you write it in?
Do you want me to
What does it
explain
look
to
like?
you how like
is there
if
any
Yes, I want you
question
to
that hold on
explain
really
to me
quick?
how they're
Is there
getting
any question that
Yes,
you're
I want you to
looking for
explain to me how
specifically?
you're getting this
Is
data.
there
Yeah.
one
Do you want-
specifically one specific question that you're looking for to be on there that will satisfy you, or will you hear the list of questions and then after that, like ask for the next thing until you can
Okay,
find
so the
one
problem-
specific thing to get really fucking mad about and then dismiss the entire thing instead of presenting, I don't know, counter,
So the problem-
counter data.
True. I'm so tired.
Or something.
Right. I have a feeling that you're just going to repeat that 3 more times if I don't stop you.
I
So
actually
what I
finished
was
and
saying,
let you speak, you dumb bitch.
Okay.
What the fuck?
okay.
I think, dude, I think that I think that they have some history between each other. Want to rate someone? Ask someone to rate? Sure.
Okay.
Give me the name.
So the problem
allow it.
that I'm speaking
Thank
to,
you,
the
Vic.
problem that I'm speaking to with this polling is that I don't think that it's impossible. First of all, polling at all for opinion-based thing is social sciences. You can't really trust it, right? We all know
What time
that.
is it?
We all know that there are
11
hidden
a.m.
Now that
motivations.
we know
Vic,
that
I
you have the
love you.
mental
I'm gonna
fortitude
catch
of
you
a
later,
5-year-old,
okay?
can we just disregard like this fucking stupid fucking retard? Like this is so
Mental
dumb.
fortitude
Vic.
of a
Why is this person
5-year-old?
here? Oh god.
Look,
What are
Again,
you
we're
talking?
doing
I
it
have a
again,
social.
dude.
I have a social sciences
Yeah,
degree.
literally, just
Everyone
doing
knows
it again.
this.
That's embarrassing that you're like, well, we can't use any polling because it's all
No,
you know, just kind of vibes.
The
based
same
on
Well, she's
answer.
really sure if
highlighting-
it
no,
Hold on,
she's
works.
I'm gonna give the
highlighting
same
so you
answer.
shouldn't
I'm
have
gonna give
to
the same answer.
ask
I'm gonna give
me.
the same
You're
answer.
a
I'm gonna
mess.
give the
Ask
same
me
answer. I'm
the
gonna give the
fucking
same
You're
answer. I'm gonna give
question.
the same answer. I'm
No,
gonna
This
give
is
the
why
same
people
answer.
don't vote for
Listen,
liberal parties.
okay,
Is
okay,
because
This is why
you
the,
will
this
not
is why the right
even
one. The
handle a
retarded people like you
question.
is why the right's going to lose
Muscle?
next round. The
Okay.
retarded people. This is
No.
why I'm going to vote left because
No,
you're being
it's
retarded.
because and this is why you'll keep losing. Is because if you can't
No, this
ask
is why
questions
this is
or
why the right's going to lose. Is because you're
Okay.
fucking
the
stupid. This is
right's
why the
not
right's
Here's what we're
losing,
gonna do.
the right's
This is why the
winning
right's going to lose. This is why the
overwhelmingly.
right's going to lose.
Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Because
Lav is right wing, yeah, but apparently she voted for Kamala, I guess, or she didn't vote whatsoever. So she would vote for Trump if Trump didn't have like fucking rape allegations. Apparently,
wow. I'm gonna
it's kind.
I'm gonna
It's as
I'm
stupid
gonna
as it
say
sounds.
goodbye to everyone because I think
What,
you're,
really?
well, I don't look. Do we
Oh, you
have
like making
other
money,
places to
Wick.
go from here? Because I'm frustrated.
Not
right
if you have
now.
Lav on, Wick.
No, I
I'm
think that we
frustrated.
can.
I'm
Why the fuck, dude? Wick is such a content cucker, dude. If I was a part of this, I would encourage more and more violence until everyone begins to issue death threats towards each other. Why do you cuck the content? Stop cucking the fucking content, dude. It's the content. Why the fuck would you cuck the content? Like, if I don't hear a single rope yourself, like during the course of this entire thing, what's the point? Stop cooking the content, please.
frustrated. I'm
I think we're
frustrated.
probably-
Hold on, let me finish my fucking thought. I'm frustrated because we were having a great conversation.
Stop. When you laugh, SFO, you're encouraging him. Okay, stop laughing. Okay.
And then Soy Pill came on to attack Tolly. Okay? To attack Tolly. It became better content, mind
Wick,
you.
my
But it was a
white
worse
knight
conversation.
in shining
And
armor.
now it's and I did Lav came on to
Dude, by the way, Tally, like, Wick just makes everyone look worse, okay? It makes you look like you need Wick's protection, and it makes Wick look like he's a simp, alright? I'm just saying, okay? You need to tell him to chill the fuck out
save
of this,
Tolly, I think.
seriously.
I'm not sure why
Ugh.
Lav's here, but
It just seems that we're sort of in the same boat. I didn't even really watch it. I just saw the title.
oh God, okay. And I think that we had there are things to discuss, but it's hard to discuss them when I'm having to like keep you guys from being autistic the whole time. I don't know. Like we have stats on this. We have stats on women when it comes to voting for Democrats and voting for Republicans. There was a 7-point shift towards
Why he keeps cucking the content? Why? There's no need for him to cuck the content. He's a content cucker, okay? He's not a content accelerator. He's a content cucker. He cucks the content so hard every time. Every single time. Every time he's like, he sits in the corner. He wants everyone else to sit in the corner too. Why? We have some good we have Lav on. We hate Lav, but Lav is content. Why? Why do you want to end it? Why the fuck do you want to end it? Just why? There's no need for this.
Republicans from 2020 to 2024. We have to
It was
deal
5.
with that. Well, the stats that I'm looking at says
it definitely has to
57.
do a lot
Let me
with
just
that
get these true.
climate stuff,
57% of women backed Joe Biden in 2020. And in 2024, meaning that 43% of women didn't vote Democrat in 2020. And in 2024, 53% of women voted for Harris, while 45% voted for Donald Trump, a loss of 4% decrease to the Dems and a increase of 3%, or 2%, I should say, to the Republicans. So 6% instead of 7.
I think the
people.
biggest thing, I think the biggest thing is going to be our policies on crime. We cannot, we have to be
2% of a
tough on
vote is an election. So that's an election.
Lav, it's smaller than the swing of the entire fucking swing to the
No, it's
Republican
not.
Party.
That's
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The swing of all the fucking party from the right to the left is bigger than the swing of
we lost
women.
by
Women was the
1.5%.
No, women swinging was the smallest demographic swinging. This is what I'm saying.
That's true. But
this is the least important fucking thing we're talking about right now.
That's not because
Wait, how strong? Only way I can play D&D is if I DM myself. I don't know what that means, but I totally know what you're talking about. Okay, he gives off like crybaby. No one wants to listen to me, so I have to make sure no one wants to have fun either. I have such a big ego. My name is Wick. I have such a big ego, and I suck donkey balls, and I probably raped my own mom.
I don't think it's unimportant though, because
why Lav is content? She's an idiot. Yeah, but that's the point. Her being an idiot is the content. Okay, but she thinks that she's cooking. That's what makes her funny. Is that she thinks she's cooking when she's like cooking at absolute zero. Okay.
I'm not saying it's oh my god.
I think that the well-being of 50% of our society is really important, whether or not they're swing or not, right?
Obviously.
I think just to bring this all back, and especially to what Wick said, is I think that also a big reason is because when you cannot hold up a point to scrutiny, you lose people. So if you are the type of person who a young person on the fence is being met with and they're asking questions, you are not going to. They are not going.
Again, concern troll. All right, she doesn't have everyone's best interests at heart. Okay, she's rich and she's right wing. Okay, like she is not arguing in good faith. She's not being good faith. Okay, she's not good faith. She's not good faith. She's a concern troll. Concern troll detected. Opinion discarded.
They're not going to.
I'm confronting people giving bad advice.
They're not going to. They're not going to. What advice have I given?
Okay, what advice do you have for how do we save the Democratic Party from the MAGA swath that you don't want to win because you're anti-Trump?
I think that there's a lot of Make America Great Again points that are positive. I just wouldn't personally.
So why are we listening to this person again, Wick? Why are we fucking having this person on? Like, who the fuck cares what this person has to say? Like, Jesus Christ.
I'm having a really hard time having a conversation with you, so I felt, and it's not.
You should, because I'm dealing with, again, an intellectual 5-year-old, and I don't like that I'm having to speak to you. It's fucking frustrating.
I don't think anyone with any sort of brain capacity is seeing this conversation and thinking that like you're like open and mature.
I'm not being mature. I'm being very triggered right now. I'm very
so why are you saying
you don't want to accept?
That's base.
All right, here, let's do it. All right, guys. No, you're right. All right, I'm calming down. Let's have an intellectual conversation. Lav, what are your points for the Democratic Party? I will listen.
I think that people see someone like you in the media specifically, and they're like, there's no tenable way to enter this party as someone who is complicated, has a ticket that is sort of all over the place, because most people do, right? Most people, there will be a lot of people who just vote tick, 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 tick down Democrat, but things are changing now, right? Because we're having a cultural reset. We're spreading the parties in a way that hasn't happened at least since the 70s, right? At least since Vietnam. Like this is the most emotional politics have been for 20, 30 plus years. And then they see people like you in the media and they're thinking, oh, well, I don't align with him. I don't align with this person who's compassionate, has compassionate values, wants women to have choice. How could women see someone like that and be like, oh, I'm going to vote Republican? And it's because it's not even measured. It's because they're scared. It's because your energy is dangerous to women.
Sorry, do you have a stat on that?
It's because your energy is dangerous to a new voter.
Wait, no, I understand your point. Now, can you tell me why you think that is at all tenable?
This is the definition of terminally online. Like, I'm sorry, no one treats women like this IRL either. Okay, like this is how you self-report into how terminally online you are. Okay, no one would have this viewpoint because you hang around spaces where everyone is like that to women or whatever the fuck, right? But IRL, like, people treat women generally pretty fine. It's fine, okay? Like if you like, dude, you go out on the streets when you buy, listen, when you buy manly clothing as a woman on the streets, the tailor isn't looking at you and then going like, why are you buying a suit? You're a lady. All right, I don't know why you're doing this. No one's doing that. I don't know, this perceived, this perceived, okay? This perceived misogyny is crazy, okay? And if there's any misogyny, it's coming from the right. Absolutely. What the fuck? They're the traditionalist fucking misogynistic people. Crazy. You saying the opposite? What, like, woman needs to be treated more traditionally and misogynistic? Maybe because she feels ooh cozy, cozy boyfriend, ooh. Okay, all right, dude. Save that for yourself only, okay? I love you in Destiny Space. Thank you, Vincent. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it right here. I'll save the rest of it for tomorrow.